This is the story of the Montgomery Morgue. The Montgomery Morgue was a busy facility. They were in the center of a few rural towns, and with no other funeral homes nearby, they handled every death within a 60-mile radius. They were trusted after being a part of the community for 72 years and being passed down from generation to generation. During a particularly busy winter, the number of deaths had spiked by 24%, and the morticians could not keep up. They hired help to relieve the extra burden of added bodies. The mortician they hired seemed to have a good resume. His name was Mitchell Fusco, and while he was quiet, the team at the morgue didn't care because you don't have to have a big personality to work with the dead. He worked the late shift and would be at the morgue overnight, making sure the crematory was functioning properly, handling any nighttime calls and keeping up with the routine work that needed to be done. A few months after Mitchell had joined the team, the need for extra employees was no longer there. But the family that ran the morgue liked him and thought he did good work, so they kept him on as a full-time employee. 9 months later, the owner was looking over finances and realized they were going through more embalming fluid and stuffing than they should be, even with the uptick of deaths. No one could explain why, so the owner set up a hidden camera in the mortuary to see if anything was happening that shouldn't have been. He had figured one of the employees was taking the items and selling them for cheaper to other mortuaries online. What he actually learned was that Mitchell was removing the organs of the deceased and collecting them in buckets. The owner immediately confronted him to ask what the hell was going on, but Mitchell explained it all away. He said that a professor from a large state university had reached out to him to purchase organs to run tests on. Mitchell said yes without hesitation. His explanation was that no one would know, no one would get hurt. The owner was furious, but not at Mitchell for stealing body parts. He was furious that Mitchell was doing this behind his back and not giving him a share of the funds. So instead of being fired, the two of them became a team. They were bringing in money hand over fist, and with the owner being in on it, Mitchell was able to take organs from almost every body and expand his client base to more colleges and universities across the country. They probably would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for the FBI running a sting to catch illegal organ sales after a slew of new patents for medications has been submitted. The FBI raided the funeral home and took inventory of everything missing from the bodies that were there. Mitchell and the owner were arrested and charged with stealing organs, desecrating a dead body, and selling illegal merchandise. When the FBI finally started to contact previous families who were serviced at the Montgomery Morgue, many families declined to press individual charges. They had to decide between digging up their deceased family members and being traumatized, or leaving their dead to rest and never knowing if they had been robbed of their organs.